I don't think I've seen you for.
Okay.
Go ahead. Okay. I call this Montezuma-Cortez School District RE1 board meeting to order. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Do I hear a motion to set the agenda? Make a motion to set the agenda.
Second.
Your second?
Second.
Oh, Debbie, sorry, Ed. Any changes? Concerns? All right, Deb, whenever you're ready.
Frazier,
Aye.
Hall,
Aye.
Hart,
Aye.
Noise,
Aye.
Rice, Wells,
Aye.
Wright.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, does not look like we have student presentation this time. We'll move along to the approval of the minutes for executive session on 4/19/22, the board meeting on 4/19/22, and the work session on 5/3/22.
Make a motion to accept the minutes as
Second.
Any corrections, changes on this?
President Noyes, I do need to let you guys know that I found an error after the last meeting. It wasn't an error in the minutes, but there was an error on the agenda that said you were approving the February meeting notes when you were approving the March ones. But so you did review the correct.
Oh, okay.
notes. I'm just letting you know I changed that agenda to be worded correctly.
Okay, all right, thanks, Deb. Whenever you're ready, Deb.
Frazier,
Aye.
Paul,
Aye.
Hart,
Aye.
Noyes,
Aye.
Rice,
Aye.
Wells,
Aye.
Wright.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, celebration reports. I'll go ahead and start. I was just going to say that I went to the middle school band and choir community night and thoroughly enjoyed myself. We have some great kids that are, it was the jazz band. It wasn't the actual marching band or the full band, but it was their jazz band that they meet on their own time. So that was a lot of fun.
I was out of town, so I missed it. I had it on my calendar. Yeah, I want to celebrate that school is almost out and we are all still reading. Even Nancy.
I attended the FFA banquet last week too. It went off very well, I thought. And I subbed all day Thursday at the high school. That was an experience. Thank you.
I subbed all day Wednesday.
I think
That
Stacy
too was
said
an experience.
Yes, it was. I now know why I did high school instead of elementary.
I understand that.
everybody has their, thank goodness we spread it
Yeah,
out. Huh?
exactly. Because God bless the elementary.
And really bless their teachers.
Yeah. I have a awesome celebration here. I'd like to recognize Joseph Linden. Is that how you say your name, buddy?
Linton.
Linton. Okay. You want to come on up here to the podium and I'm going to read this, what this is here. I got this recognition when I was at the CHASA Legislative Council. I didn't even know anything about it. And I'm listening to this presentation by one of the assistant commissioners and he says his name and Montezuma-Cortez High School. So I'm like, what? So after the meeting, I went to the assistant commissioner and he gave me a little bit of information about this and I wanted to celebrate this and present this young man with this certificate. Just a little bit about this. This is from the National Federation of High School Athletics and Activities. An 8-member nomination national committee is in charge of making the selected winners. And Joseph was one of 2 in the state of Colorado that is recognized and then is put into the pool for the national conference that happens in August at the National NFHS conference. He was nominated by his band director and teacher, Alex Moore. So I just want to read this nomination. First, it says, please describe nominees' current involvement in high school. If applicable, please list any accomplishments or honors attained. Joseph is an outstanding person and musician and active and positive contribution to any group he is involved with. He is and has been a section leader and prominent member of the Montezuma-Cortez Marching Panthers, Symphonic Winds, Jazz Ensemble, Panther Pep Band, and the Drama Troupe Pit Orchestra. Additionally, he has been an active member of the Montezuma-Cortez High School Chamber Choir. Over the past year, Joey has been selected for numerous extracurricular ensembles, including honors bands at Fort Lewis, Adams State, All-State Band, and at the University of Northern Colorado. He was also selected as a member of the Colorado All-State Choir. The next question is, please list nominees, actions, and accomplishments that deem him or her worthy of the National High School Heart of the Art Awards, is what this award is called. Outside of his clear musical talents, Joey is the type of student who is not only enjoyable to perform with, but to be around. He is incredibly driven individual, but his focus and intensity in the type of is the type that inspires those around him to do the same. He lives and breathes music, and this is clear from the moment you meet him. He does Christmas exhibits, and there was a picture of him with the selected for all-state band with 4 other students. So it's my honor to give you this certificate. It's an awesome certificate, and to let people know that he is in the running for the national.
Nice. What instrument or instruments that you play?
So for the concert band, the marching band, I play euphonium, but for jazz band, I also play trombone. I do play other instruments, but those 2 are my main 2.
Okay, wow, congratulations.
Would you like to share with us a little bit?
Well, congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, good job.
Thank you so much.
Got the word.
Proud mom. All right. Okay, anything else right now?
Can't top that.
Oh, yeah, our girls soccer did amazing. I mean, those girls went from not even having a team last year to, they thought they were only going to have 3 girls out for soccer this year. When the season opened, they had 7, and then the next day they had 29 girls.
Oh, my God.
Didn't even really have a coach yet, so they were scrambling for that, and then won the Intermountain League, and for the first time since we've been in the Intermountain League, and then went on to the state qualifying tournament. So yeah, those girls did awesome.
Yeah, don't try to take soccer away. That's what happens, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Well, they just didn't have the involvement. They didn't have the girls, and so yeah.
No, that's exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited for those girls.
Okay. Okay, if we don't have any more celebrations, we can move on to the superintendent's report.
Good evening, board. First, I would like to thank you for allowing us to move the meeting from tomorrow night to tonight so that we can all attend the awards banquet or the award ceremony at the high school. Jeanette, thank you very much for attending our Title IX training. Title IX is very regimented now, very specific. And Cynthia, thank you for setting that up. All of the administrators went, all of the assistant principals, the counselors, we even had BOCES there, right? So
Southwest Health.
that's awesome.
Wow.
The Superintendent's Advisory Council, thank you for being on it. But we met, and May the 11th, Deb was there. We had questions, we had answers. We did not have a glitch with my computer this time, so all was documented, and all of you should have gotten a copy of that. We are also sending that email to tribal councilmen. We met today with 2 tribal councilmen, with Councilman Whiteman and Councilman Wall, just to have a little sit down and visit and that kind of thing. We got a lot of good interaction. It was informal, and that's really what I wanted, an informal meeting with them. And my entire team went with me, and we had a good time with that. I'm still working on the Grow Your Own program. I've gotten back some responses from the colleges. We are working to make that happen for this fall. Thank you to the board members who have given such a great amount of your time to the district. The thankless job of being a board member, and you guys are awesome. Thank you. We're looking forward to graduation. This is a proud moment for all of us. I did get to meet with Nikki Crowley and talk to her about the Lower Foundation. We will be having a follow-up conversation or two. I've been reaching out to firms for strategic planning. I've gotten dates, the 13th, 14th, and 15th. Is that correct, ladies? I think that is right. Is that a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in June? Yeah. Sure. And
No idea.
yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, now I've got to get into
What's next?
for community game.
Grab some cookies.
Good.
Yeah, grab some snacks.
Grab some cookies.
It would be a 3-day commitment. I'm going to invite quite a few people to be in that. Thanks to all of you guys that substituted, even when we're out of our own realm. I agree. Ed is different with little kids. That's why it was high school. We have been looking at an ASOP frontline, which we do frontline right now for our special ed IEPs. So it's not a far off program, but ASOP frontline is for, I can't remember the acronym for it. It's for substitutes. You call in, you say you're sick, then it starts calling people to put in your place. I got the comments from board members that they volunteered the day before and didn't hear until that morning. And so moving to this would take care of that. So as far as my report, that's it. Thank you, board, for all you do, and thank you for your commitment to this school district.
Okay. Executive Director of Finance. Archibald.
Good afternoon or good evening, board, superintendent, community members. In my report, 3 items really. First is the proposed general fund budget for 22-23. So this is essentially just putting numbers to the presentation I gave you at the work session. Next steps from here is I have a complete budget that I put together. I put out a public notice before 30 days before our June board meeting, so before the 21st. And then I'll bring the budget to you on the 21st of June for final approval. Along with that, I provided the most recent salary schedules, which haven't really been adjusted much since the last time we talked. There are a couple things that have been identified that we're going to change before we approve them in June, but I will go over all those changes in June before you guys vote on that. And then finally, part of adopting the 4-day calendar was the requirement to waive a portion of policy ICA while we have a 4-day. So CDE just needs that recorded in minutes that the board acknowledges that that's going to be waived. So tonight there'll be an action item just going over what part of that policy needs to be waived. And that is all I have. If you have any questions, I can certainly try to answer those now.
Is it somewhere in your report about the approval from CDE then? Is that?
It's really, and I can let Mr. Park speak to this more. I'm fairly confident that everything's taken care of. It's just one of those things that they'd like to see. They know that we had the board meeting tonight, and so we just wanted to make sure that there was no question that was acknowledged. So, does that sound pretty?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're aware of it. And,
Basically, we're good.
I've been in communication with them the last few days, and just waiting to hear their final word, hopefully in the next day or two.
Righty. Thank you. Yeah.
Steal my thunder.
I liked that
I
presentation.
think we need to mark this one as like.
Last one.
sort of report.
That's a start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Parr. We'll pretend we don't know.
Reports.
We'll pretend we don't know and act surprised.
Evening, board. So the first item on my agenda was recorded calendar, but since we've already addressed that.
Good.
Next item I have is our K-5 Ela adoption update, and in similar fashion, I'm just waiting on stuff to start showing up. All the POs have gone out, everything should be in order, and it should be hopefully in the next few days we start seeing things. So I'm excited about that. Get it in front of our teachers so they can have a look before they head out for the summer. Assessment platform update. We continue to look at a couple of platforms with NWDA MAP or Renaissance Star platforms. I've met with a teacher group and got some feedback there. Really, I just wanted to highlight for you guys what some of the main goals are in doing this. One, maintaining our data-driven instruction process, which is using our data to design and adjust instruction. Efficiently being able to assess students given the limited timeframes. We're moving into a 4-day calendar, so we can't really have assessments that eat up more than a couple hours a day at the most, because all that time is very precious. So, and then, as I've stated before, providing a district picture of what our kids look like from K to 12, so that we're all informed about how they're doing and where they're going. So those are the components of that process. I'm going to work to try and meet with teachers one more time. They may tell me to get lost and not want to show up because it's going to be the last week of school, but we'll try to make that happen. Elementary report cards. This is a discussion that we really haven't had a chance to get started given the Ela adoption and assessment platform, but that's something I plan to pursue after we get some of our new materials in, because it doesn't really make sense to change all of that right now when we've got new things coming on board. So I'd like to give it a little time to look at that and then pursue the new report card option possibility. State testing done. April 29th, we closed the books on that, and right now we're just, we do some cleanup with Pearson as far as some data, but Darcy Davis is doing that. She's done a great job of that for many years now. So just wanted to put on your radar, we have a schedule of curriculum reviews, and the things that we're looking at for next year are secondary Spanish textbooks and the 6th through 12th grade health. That doesn't have to be all we look at, but that's what's on the schedule. So just so you guys know, that's what's coming up for next year.
I'd like for you to make sure you have parents on the 6th, 12th grade health.
Yes, that's probably a good idea. And the last thing I wanted to share with you guys is a update on the Manoa Playground. Obviously, there will be more conversation about that, particularly as we talk about the Lower Foundation. I did engage with the consulting group that helped us at Lewis and the middle school, and they've agreed to work with us if we choose. They would help us go through a variety of scenarios that would either help us use the money that we currently have or help us find new monies to add to that. You know, there's some things in the wind that we want to figure out too before we commit to that exactly. But we do have that option. So they are super supportive, and they've been, as you can tell, super helpful with what we've already done. And they don't expect to be compensated until projects are done and money's awarded. So even if we enter an agreement with them, we wouldn't be committing ourselves financially to them at this time. So. And that's pretty much my report.
I just had one question.
Yes.
On the assessment platform, the K through 12, do you know of any other districts that are already doing that?
Yeah, absolutely. Our neighbors in Dolores, they use NWEA map testing.
We used to get.
Yeah, we used to.
Because when I was at Battle Rock, we used it.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't know what.
Oh, you know, I think I kind of read that wrong. You know, we were trying to track from grade to grade, is that what this is? Is this what
Yeah.
you're telling me this is? Okay. The one student K through 12.
Yeah,
Each
well,
student K.
it should do all of that for course. Like,
Okay.
we'll be able to look at cohorts, we'll be able to look at the student body in general, or down to individual kids.
So we down
We
to
follow a class.
follow a class, follow a student. So for some reason, why did they crater over here?
Is it-
What happened? What's going on? Was it us? Was it
Something in their
something?
life or
Okay,
The class.
Okay.
Something like that.
okay. So
And we
Dolores,
just don't have that ability right now. So,
okay,
yeah, and Dolores, so Dolores uses NWEA maps.
okay.
I'm not sure what Mancus uses, but I'm pretty sure they have a platform. But these are the two that are, they're familiar to us, and we found ease of use. Michelle can attest to the use of STAR. She's been using STAR for a number of years, so.
Is it as rigorous as we want?
Well, I think that's to be seen to a certain degree. I wouldn't call it as rigorous as, handwriting out essays like we've been doing the last few years. Maybe essays is strong, but constructed response. I do think there's some options for a little bit of customization in there to give us some of those things. And we can also adjust some of the reports that we receive so that the reports are looking at how our students compare to state standards versus necessarily some percentile rankings that aren't always accurate. So.
I knew that NWA did that at one time, like it's been years since I've done it.
Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Good evening, board.
Good evening.
Community members, staff. How are you all tonight?
Good.
Great.
The wind.
I provided a pretty detailed report this time, providing you information on specific areas of HR and updated. For example, the USI, our new insurance brokerage firm, has provided an update on where they are at. I do have this available online. We can review that if you'd like. Can answer any questions in regards to their renewal timeline. Do you remember when John Corbett presented, he said in order to get the district back on track with a January 1st renewal, that we needed to extend the current renewal for July 1st onto January 1st. And this is a timeline that he's depicted on where we're at in that progress. As you can see, we've already obtained the entire employee census to be able to start marketing the different aspects of our benefits. They're due the week of June 3rd. We've already received and completed that. Stop loss renewal is with Accurus currently. We've received the updated renewal information, same with our stop loss. Final renewal due, the RFP sent to market. Those are all in progress as we speak. And then proposals will be received by the end of this month. And then we'll have a renewal analysis meeting. Mr. Corbett will be attending the next scheduled board meeting in June to provide all of the information that he's received on these proposals. Ancillary marketing, vision, live voluntary lines, same here. With the renewal completed January 1st, we did get the updated Delta Dental plan extension, and they've added coverage, and that's following the USI presentation. We will have our open enrollment meetings scheduled. The implementation will be September 19th with enrollment material finalized by October. And then enrollment completed by December 5th with the new plan documents provided by January 1st. That is the proposed timeline for all benefit renewal. Also, Mr. Corbin has provided us a listing of the account service team and the current plan and product listing on the next section. The medical, PPO, USI update, prescription drug coverage, or dental PPO. It's Montezuma-Cortez School District RA1 account service team and current plan and product lines. There you go. Any questions if you're contacted by any staff, or if you have any questions regarding our coverage, this will provide you detailed information on who to contact and where it falls under. Also, our stop loss and life and AD&D on the back. We've also included voluntary benefits with the renewals. Any of the renewal dates that you see that are prior to January 1st, those are the ones that we are working on currently to extend through the end of the year. There is a medical experience summary report. There's several pages. Page number 6, medical experience summary. I'd like to briefly review this so you get an idea of where we're at on it, on usage. Currently, net paid claims, $2,107,948,000. Maximum claims amount. Where we're at with net position to maximum claims is 77,000% paid. 77% paid, excuse me. We are still under budget for this plan year. And it also shows the current average employees enrolled is 305. Then it goes into your large claims. The large claims are over our stop loss and then also the stop loss deductible. So currently we have 5 large claims. The charts depict utilization throughout the year. Shows in January we received the highest volume of claims. Large claims versus other claims. Large claims are 33% of total usage. Mine are all upside down and backwards, sorry guys. On the following page, it also details administration fees, our stop loss premiums per month, and then the total costs per month. Forecasted claims, where we're at in position to our paid claims. And then on page, I think it is, we have a breakdown of large claims as a percentage of total claims. You can review this in detail to find out more precise information on what those claims are. You can go ahead and scan past that. Also shows okay. Any questions on the experience of our medical coverage at this point? Where we're at? Any surprises come our audit? We can keep track very closely of the dollars spent and where we're at within our budget on that. I've also provided you the updated information for Delta Dental, schedule of benefits. As you can see, we've added the preventative coverage, diagnostic preventative services. Delta Dental PTO or preferred provider now covers 100% for preventative services, whereas that was not included previously.
So that's been added into USI's table.
Do we have
Wow.
a PPO provider local?
You can contact your PPO listing. I do not have the answer to that. This has just been rolled out.
Okay.
And what we're trying to work on now is to contact all providers locally here in the area and have them apply and to become a PPO preferred provider. What that entails is that they have to adjust their charges to match what Delta Dental will pay. And if they agree to do that, then they can fill out the application and become a PPO provider. It would be beneficial for all providers here locally to do that because we have several employees who are enrolled in the plan, and it would be very beneficial.
Is the dental plan a voluntary plan? The district doesn't pay for it?
Portion, it's volunteer though,
Okay.
yes. But you can see that we've improved coverage just within the first of the year by having that. The coverage information that I've attached is all of the contract documents that they have provided with this change. That is for your information purposes only. Do you have any questions in regards to the updated information for our benefits? Also covered in my report, as you can see under MLA and worker comp, I have given you an update on applications for 5 staff members under FMLA. 4 have been approved and qualified authorization received from the physician. 1 applicant is still pending approval. And then we currently have 9 active worker compensation claims, which have been filed since January 2022. I can give you an update as those claims fall off or are added additional. I think it's important that you keep an eye on those costs, specifically because self-insured and pay those costs. We have our SIDSIP renewal coming up. The contract signage will be due next month. I'm reviewing and updating all of the application for the renewal and SIDSIP. That is our general liability. I know that USI wanted to take over our general liability, but that is one area that the insurance pool is a benefit for the district to stay with them and not make that change. I also provided a list of HR updates. If you have any questions in regards to all of that specific information, I was pretty detailed in providing you all of that. Please let me know. I can review that with you independently. Jacqueline Hall gave us an update for health services. She did have a recognition for her staff. May 11th was the Nurses Appreciation Day, if you weren't aware of that. She states that we are blessed to have school nurse Karen Maxwell and Health Secretary Terry Goodall in our building. These ladies are always helpful with everything from tummy aches to broken bones. They are patient, knowledgeable, and always smiling. Thank you, ladies, for writing the middle school and serving our students daily. We definitely wanted to have a shout out for them. She also provided us a plan for the 2022-23 school year, what is going to be included. They will be teaching CPR and AED first aid, standard precautions, medication administration trainings. She will hold a flu shot clinic in collaboration with Southwest Health System in October, and also most likely include COVID vaccines. Nurse orientation in July for 2 new nurses, and she will also have a mass hearing and vision screening to resume the first of the school year as normal. Also moving along to the big portion of my report today. Please see the attached district-wide staff list for renewals for the 2022-23 school year. The format, please note, has been revised in order to track staff by campus and department.
This updated format will allow HR Benoway to provide contracts and update step and rate monthly salary schedule. Previously, it was provided to you all inclusive. And then we alphabetized by description. So I don't understand why it was submitted in that format, but it was very difficult for me to try to understand. So this is the new revised format.
And thank you, it was much easier for
I
me to read.
hope, I hope you agree. This lists all staff by location, high school, middle school, elementary schools, Beach Street, and then all departments, maintenance, custodian, transportation, nutrition services, health services. Everything is listed by campus and by department, and then broke down by title. As you can see, there were a couple of changes made over the weekend. I apologize for that. We did not see those until this morning. Under curriculum, there were 2 individuals whose title changed. And then I believe under the middle school, there was 1 teacher that's pending current active status under workers' comp. Other than that, everything remains the same. If you have any questions in regards to this, please also let me know. Once this is approved, I can start generating contracts. I would like to be able to provide contracts to employees next Wednesday and Thursday, where they can come into our office and review them and sign them. Okay. Any questions?
So. Okay, I thought it through instead of that you.
Okay. Thank you all very much. And a special appreciation for those of you who volunteered to substitute last week at the schools. We very much appreciated it. Our staff, my department is always trying to find substitutes. And so when we're short, it's great to have the board step up and volunteer to do
And
that.
I will still sub, but I could not do it today.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, you've got your school level reports from the principals. Katie, did you want to add anything to Kemper?
How'd your dance go?
It was good.
Good.
It is, we had hoped there was about 100 people there, but it was fun.
Cool.
Good.
Our parent engagement, we had about 600 people came for a building that night. So,
Ooh,
Nice.
good.
So, before we move on, and Beach Street needs to hire 6 people. But the main thing is on the middle school, where it is talking about cell phones. I think that we need to add that as a discussion item for our work session. I don't think that we need to jump into something and make a decision. We need to think this through. The intended consequences are not in my.
I agree.
So I think that as a board, we need to think about this before we jump into it. But we do need to consider the fact that they have come to us and they want us to do something.
I agree. I read that too.
Yep. So just saying, I can't say that we're going to ban it or we're going to keep them. I just think it is a discussion we need to have.
Probably ought to have that during our strategic planning session and kind of make it for an entire district recommendation.
Mhm. Okay.
And I think, and this is the second time that I think we've heard Drew on the cell phone situation, so.
Right.
Along with Beach Street too, I was asked by a community member about start times next year. And I'm not familiar with their start times, but they told me that they were starting an hour later. Is that correct?
They adjusted their start times. I don't have it in front of me.
And this community member's concern was with getting their kids there and stuff. work schedules and stuff. I think it's like 8:45, is that right?
So
There's.
I talked to the director and it had to do with a couple things. Another thing that's happening is CPP or Colorado preschool. The way it's funded is changing. Starting July, it's called universal. Universal something, I don't want to miss. But there's some different requirements. It's going to look different how that whole operation is ran. And I know that that had something to do with it too. Wasn't the only reason, but there were like 3 or 4 things that were presented. And I'll have to review what that email on that meeting was with Andrea, but I can get that to you guys. And let you know.
ECLC, Early Childhood Leadership Commission. Is that what you're talking about? It is, I just got a invite to be on their committee. their
And
advisory.
it's a big deal because it's putting rural districts in a hard spot to where essentially we have to tag team or we have to team up with our surrounding districts and then ultimately decide who's the head district and
So-
then administer the program between all the other districts.
So maybe I should go ahead and apply for the board.
You mean if you could, because I'm still kind of lost. Even when I went to my conference last week, there's not a lot of answers.
No, there's not. Well, I was on the board setting it up and there weren't a lot of answers and they got tired of hearing me talk about rural. Okay.
Okay. Ray, did you have anything that you wanted to?
I'm good.
You're good. Okay. Yeah.
That's fine.
Is this a competition tonight for the show?
All right. Okay. Any board requests or reports?
I had Deb run this off and put it in your packet because I took lots of notes at my meeting. And then when this came out the next day, going, I'm not going to. So you may read it. The only thing I know is it's not on here that is coming down the pipe. And Cindy, I'm sure you know that they're changing Title IX.
Title IX and a FML, FMLI.
Right.
And
And
so
there,
we'll need to review that and decide whether we want to opt in or opt out
right.
prior to January 1st.
And they said that hopefully before August, we'll know Title IX. But there's no guarantee.
I would also say that the para-retiree HB 22-1057
Uh-huh.
passed and now it allows retirees to earn 1050.
Right.
So that can help.
Yeah, that passed last month, I think.
How is that different from what we already have for rule?
More days.
More days.
Oh, more days. Okay.
And parent, you'll know, the state's going to supplement parent and try to get it cut back up. But that should be in this report.
On board, right?
Pardon?
Still on board reports.
Yes.
Attended the bus driver meeting Tuesday with Kyle and Tom. Probably one of the biggest things, by the time we got done there, I think everybody was a lot more relieved and a little more comforted, I think. But one of the things, and that probably ought to be talked about along with the cell phone thing, plus another item I'll talk later too, that we'll talk about, but was pickups. A lot of the drivers had a lot of concerns about pickups in town and why we're picking up students that are like 2 blocks from the school building and stuff like that. So that's something that I think we really need to look at. Besides, and, if there's a safety thing as far as, like over behind Napa and Kaziz and having to cross the highway, I totally get that we gotta have some leeway there, but I think especially with changing the bus routes, they were really leery about a lot of things going on. I think they left out of there a lot better.
The other question was the combining of K through 12 on a bus.
Yes,
The other concern.
and it is, and as a parent it is too, but it's also, I hate to say it, but I don't know of any rural district that doesn't have K-12 on a bus.
Yeah.
And it's, I rode the bus. It was
Never done it.
well.
We did it. We've
No.
done it in this district before.
So,
It's a reality.
yeah, I mean, if you're in the metro area where you've got, one elementary school has their whole route for themselves, I can see they can have that luxury, but I just don't know if we're able to have that luxury. So,
Okay. I'll go ahead and ask Mr. Lehman, did you have anything you wanted to add to your report or anything?
No.
Nope, you're good? Okay. All righty. Citizens address the board. Deborah, did we get any? They're not here. If we did.
We have a letter that was sent in. President Moise, you'll see at the beginning of the email, they say that earlier in the year we were accepting a fly letter, and that process has changed. So that's why we're not reading it aloud tonight, but we did want to get you a copy, and we offered for them to come and attend if they wanted to read it themselves.
Okay,
FYI, just so you knew where we were at on that process.
okay, thank you.
And some of the things that this person mentions, we will do in strategic plan. How do we engage the community? How do we, transparency, those things.
Yeah, this is something that we've been having conversations about, but just not in all at one time.
Right.
Just, it's been a trickle down when we talk about it.
Correct.
Okay. Alrighty. Okay, yes, we'll be moving right along. We have no discussion items tonight, so we'll move on to our action items. Consent calendar, you should have that list. You should have had it in your packet, and then we have our list for the May renewals. Ms. First.
Madam President, I would like to ask Cynthia, what names do you need to pull off that calendar? Did you get those done early enough to?
It wasn't updated. Yes,
It was updated? Okay. I recommend approval of the consent calendar as presented to the board.
Do I hear a motion?
Make a motion to accept the consent calendar as presented.
I second.
Okay. All right, Deb, whenever you're ready.
I'm just I was looking at it and I noticed that we have 4 counselors at the middle school and 3 counselors at the high school. Now, the high school has more students. Why are we not? And the high school counselors not only have to deal with their emotional stuff, but they also have to deal with their grades and get them into college. And so I'm wondering if we should not have 4 counselors also at the high school. Or is it a position that we've advertised can't fill?
Right.
Just putting that out there.
All right. I know when I was here before, we had 3 counselors at the middle school, and I
Yeah,
think
one
we
for
had
each
4
grade
at the
level.
high school,
Yeah.
just reversed, kind of 1 for each grade level. So we'll look into that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Something else in the letters of resignation, everybody looks through those and stuff. I know some of them are, they're sort of both sides there and stuff. Some are really regretting leaving after lots of years of service, and some use it as a way of venting about different issues. But one of them that I read in there that I really, one part of it struck me pretty hard was that he mentioned about, he was a high school teacher. He was writing his letter during lunchtime, and he said, in my last class, I was supposed to have 21 students and I had 11 today, which is pretty normal, he said. And he said that as we look at our mission of every student, every day, attendance is a huge, huge thing. And that's coming from a teacher that's leading. And that's, I mean, I know we discussed it a lot at the high school. It was always at our staff meetings and stuff about attendance. So along with cell phones and stuff like that, I think that's something we really need to push up to the forefront too, and
I agree.
come up with something attendance wise. Because I know as a teacher, I mean, first of all, it sort of, you know, gives you that mindset that does everybody just think it's not important to be here? I mean, as a teacher, that's pretty devastating. And also those 10 students that were there, then that teacher expected over the next course of several days that, you know, before school, after school, during lunch, to make up lessons with those students and stuff. And that shouldn't have to happen like that. So
I agree with you.
so
And I've actually talked to Tom a little bit about that, about our tardy and absent problem.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've got to change the mindset. And I think that that's a big thing. I remember 10 years ago fighting that with a parent who said, well, if my kid is still passing the class and they miss 50%, why should you worry about it? Really? You know, if you miss 50% of your work, do they worry about it?
right.
So, yeah, I think we need to change the mindset of our community too. It's important.
This was also brought up today in our meeting with the youth council as a top priority of what they would like to address as well, and work with the district on trying to improve attendance. Members and community members from the
And I mean, I don't remember a time ever in high school that wasn't a discussion.
Oh, yeah, I don't
And
either.
it's a frustrating,
It is.
Yeah.
frustrating time.
Mhm.
And I know there was some talk one time of trying to implement something like, basically like work, you know, you have 10 days and that's it, basically. So.
Right. Well, we have a policy. We need to follow it.
Mhm.
So, yeah. No, I agree 100%. Something else we can talk about, our strategic plan.
This same parent that I'm talking about, that they were angry that when we built the new building, that we alarmed the doors, because she felt like if her student thought he needed to leave, he should be able to leave without permission.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, you can still leave, you're just setting off the alarm.
Yes.
We just know somebody's leaving.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, it's a battle.
Hmm. Okay. Any other questions, comments? Okay, Deb.
Frazier,
Right.
Paul,
I have to abstain.
Hart,
Aye.
Joyce,
Aye.
Bryce,
Hey.
Wells,
Aye.
Wright.
I,
Okay, policy IC/ICA for the 2022-23 school year.
Did you go past?
Sorry.
Yeah.
The CASB online district
No,
policy. maintenance?
I'm sorry, I skipped it. So
Okay.
CASB online district policy maintenance and the core policy manual project.
Yes.
So Mr. Burke.
This is that $5,000 deal. We will buy the policies up front, and then the $4,700 will follow in July. I tried to get this both in July and couldn't do it. And I want to get the policy substituted before school starts again. And again, MB's here. We've had some meetings with a small group looking at policies. And if we have a policy that's better than what we think CASB's is, we can substitute it.
Right.
It takes the readings, it takes the approval of the board, but we can do that. So I recommend that we move forward with the purchase of the CASB online policy and maintenance. And just understand that we will bring that in June for a first reading, and in July, it's kind of trying to make this thing work quickly in the summertime. And then July will be the second readings, and we will actually go to the new policies. And in July, we will have to vote to dump our old policies.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to approve the CASB online district policy maintenance with the core policy manual project?
I make that motion that we accept it.
I second it.
Okay. do we have
Is
questions?
financially? We're okay?
Yeah, we're able to do this.
Okay.
Other questions or comments about it? Hey, Deborah.
Frazier,
Aye.
Hall,
I,
Hart,
I,
Noise,
Aye.
Price, Wells.
Aye.
Right.
Aye.
Okay, policy ICICA for the 22-23 school year.
Madam President, I recommend the approval of ICICA for the 22-23 school year as detailed by Mr. Park.
Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion to accept ICA.
I second.
I guess my question would be, do we need to do this every year for CDE? Because it's just for that 1 year,
Well, not
or is it going to
necessarily.
change?
Once it's in a policy.
Yeah, I mean, if
Okay,
if we have to, change, well, I guess, so what you're voting on now is to waive this for the coming year. So in all likelihood, yes, we would probably need to revisit it every year, but in that same vein, we're gonna revisit the calendar every year,
gotcha.
just
Okay.
for, clarification purposes, just to make sure things work the way that we had hoped.
But if it's in a policy, why would we have to vote on it each year?
Well, it's still currently in the policy, but I think all we're doing with this vote is
Just acknowledging it.
waiving it.
We're acknowledging it.
So we actually need to change, so we'd rather waive it for the time being and to change the policy.
I think that's the case.
Okay, so is this your motion?
No, I
Who made this motion?
Sherry,
Sherry.
right, Sherry, right.
Can we just change the word accept to waive?
I said accept. I said
Right,
I
can we
move that we
change it
accept that.
From
we
accept to
change
waive,
Waive,
To waive?
so that we can waive this policy?
Well, and all we're doing, again, for clarification, is waiving the one bullet point.
Okay.
Passing period. It's not all the other items that are listed.
Okay, then you may change it to waive. Cody?
Yes, second.
And so all this is doing is just saying that we're counting passing period as contact time.
And just so you know, in the building of school schedules, to accommodate for that, what we have is teachers in the hallways. And that's what CDE asks us to do. If you have that, then you can count. So.
Okay. I hope you're in the hallway.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions, discussions? Okay, Deborah, whenever you're ready.
Frazier,
Aye.
Hall,
I,
right, or Hart, sorry,
I,
Noise,
Aye.
Rice,
Aye.
Wells,
Aye.
right.
Aye.
Okay, action item action item D, the donation of the Lower Manal Playground for $25,000.
Madam President, I would like to go ahead and table this one more time. I know Manal is going to be a large discussion with the strategic plan. And I had this very conversation with Nikki and told her that we would be discussing how to move forward. That the amount of money that they're offering would basically just get us a plan. So let's get to the strategic plan, see what we want to do for the big picture.
So I make a motion that we table donations LOR Manal Playground for 25,000.
A second.
Okay, and you wanted to move that to where, to a discussion?
Yeah, we'll move it to the discussion on strategic plan.
Okay. Okay, Deborah, whenever you're ready.
Frazier,
Hi.
Hall,
Aye.
Hart,
Aye.
Noise,
Aye.
Rice, Wells,
Aye.
Wright.
Aye. Okay, action item E, policy revisions for the first reading. A, which is GBE, the staff participation in political activities.
Madam President, these two don't require a vote, but I would like to discuss just a little bit. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. And this policy for the staff participation in political activities has been through my advisory committee, if you will. And we actually looked at, this one actually came from New Mexico. The pieces that we took out of this that were very interesting. There is a teacher from Albuquerque Public Schools who's also a legislator. And there was pieces in this policy that addressed exactly that fact. So we took those out. What you have left is very clear, concise, meaningful, and I think a very good policy. And again, going into these new policies, if this one is better than what we will get, we will be able to sub this one in. Also, the second one, B, is about the Title IX policy. It will substitute into what we have in ACR 2. And this one is like 9 pages long. And the one that it's subbing into is 3 pages long. That's how much difference there is in the whole Title IX prospect. But anyway, those two don't require a vote for this time, and I just wanted to talk about them a bit.
Okay, great, thank you. Any other comments, questions?
We do have to, where it says insert name, insert email, insert link, you have to fill those in before second reading.
Yes.
I'll be an expert by then.
Yeah, we all will.
Well,
Okay, action item F, policy revisions for the second reading.
Madam President, we have taken the class size document to both the policy committee and also the superintendent's advisory council. And we don't see any problems with it the way it's written. And I would recommend that we pass IIB-R class size.
Okay. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Is that you, Ed?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
I have one question on this.
Yeah.
The elementary kindergarten.
Yes.
15 to 1, 20 to 1.
If you have, we'll put a teacher aide in there if it goes over 15.
I don't know. I think every kindergarten class should have an aide. I don't think there
If I
should
was a
be.
teacher, I'd think so.
Yeah, I don't think there should be a limit. I mean, kindergarten is such a difficult age group. You know, you're dealing with spectrums of 6 to just barely turning 5. Some of these kids are still taking naps the week before school started.
Still taking naps, you know.
Yeah, well, I had 5th graders taking naps the other day, but that's a different issue. I just think that, my personal opinion is, I think every kindergarten class deserves a teacher aide in it. A para. What do you principals say?
Kindergarten's a tough grade. I would, I guess, kindergarten is really tough. We have kids that don't have preschool coming into
Yeah.
Mesa.
We did put on the second page of this that if there is a case to be made about putting an aide in earlier, then we can do that. I think the discussion centered around, what happens if you have 4 or 5 special needs kids and you have 14 kids? Absolutely.
And you're just recognizing those children a lot of times coming into kindergarten. If they haven't had preschool, I just think I think it should be a given in kindergarten that every kindergarten class. I mean, you were a principal,
Well, I mean, it depends. It has a lot to do with the teacher too. And
Sure,
their
oh, sure.
ability to handle that group, but it is like popcorn.
Absolutely.
And one day they're all gonna pop and the next day you're gonna have 5 deadheads. That's just my personal opinion.
And Stacy, I don't see any of our classes being lower than 15.
Okay, I mean, that'd be awesome, but.
I've seen class before, and it's been a very long time, and we're in, so I think it depends on the teacher. I have one kindergarten class right now that doesn't have an aide, who is very well, and I think she likes how she is running her classroom. My other kids have one, and we believe it. But I'm not concerned with the class size over 15.
Okay. If you guys are good with it, I'm good with it.
Well, I think with the second page of it, it kind
I
of
think it
clarifies
clarifies it.
what- if there's a need or what the situation is. So I think.
Right.
All right, Deborah?
Aye.
Paul,
I,
Hart,
I,
Noise,
Aye.
Rice,
Aye.
Wells,
Aye.
Right.
Aye.
Thank you.
What time we got? We have.
7:09.
7:09.
Okay. We'll adjourn this meeting at 7:09.